Welcome to Declutter's Delight for Life, and I'd like to welcome you. And tonight we're going to talk about decluttering brings me self-confidence. Yes, I talked last night about my story and what that entailed, and I did have a negative comment about somebody from a couple days back about me being a drug dealer, or on drugs. But the only thing I can have to say about that is I am a former corrections officer. And yeah, I had my problems over the years, and a lot of you guys know what they are. And I've been very truthful on Facebook about it, and I'm being very truthful about the comment. And to those who don't understand things, I guess I'm just coming to you, um, honest and upfront about things. Like I've always been with you guys on Facebook, and with anything I may bring to you in the future, is because I believe that honesty is the best policy. It's an old time kind of thing. And I'm maybe an old fashioned lady in many ways, but also, as you can see on Facebook Live, I'm very much into technology. If you only saw how small my computer is, and that it runs on a cellular network. But let's get started. I just thought I'd pop in and kind of let you guys know about that, and let you guys know that I'm about positive energy and helping people move forward and helping people have a better life, and just like I did, and that no matter what, I'm going to try to be here the best I can, no matter where I'm at. You've traveled with me to Albuquerque, to the mountains. Shoot, I into small towns. I've been all over the place with you, and you are very precious to me as an audience, and I always want to make sure I'm there for you. And let's get on with it tonight. So, decluttering brings self confidence. For me, what decluttering did is that when I was in a fog and dealing with my hoarding, which goes back to my mom, and it runs in the family, and turned declutterer, and I guess you might say professional declutterer now, is that one, it cleared my thinking. My thinking became much clearer. I could think, I could put thoughts together, I knew what I was doing. I could clear away a lot of junk. I was able to say let go to a lot of things, and life became a whole lot easier. And that, a lot of people posed a lot of questions to me. I was able to answer. I learned faster. I do all sorts of things that I never thought possible, like even, excuse me, allergies, um, that I never thought I could do. Get back in electronics and learn so fast about electronics like I've never before in my life. I'm so much of a fast learner that's impossible to even think. And the time let's see, January till June, it's been about 6 months since I'm back in that. I even in the virtual world in a program I belong to, and even that is amazing in that. So, and then next, it organized my mind. I was able to, put things together, put things in the proper place like I never did before in my life. I had the house I always wanted. It's not perfect. Still got a lot of stuff in. It's small, but it's my home. I've lived here for 30 plus years, and it's comfortable. It's nice. I can have people over. I don't even have a TV. I have a drum. I have a thing that says life's too short, have appreciation for it. I have a thing that says here come the crazy ones. And it talks about dreamers and folks who move the world forward. And then I have a bunch of my spiritual rocks up there. And to that, and a little what I call a God can. And it means a lot to me. And as a result of having an organized mind, I'm able to put all these things together. And even my room that was a mess, I'm able to organize. And I got drawers and things to organize, and I got places for everything there. It may be full, but I've got a floor, and a dog that is not afraid to come in there and lay down. And I work there every day for my business of Declutter's Delight for Life on 84th Street Rocks. And that's amazing. And I've been back in there a few months, and that keeps going. And another great thing about things is that it helps me move forward in my life. Having self-confidence is that I'm able to look at my present moment and realize that I have a future, and that when I realize I can move forward in my life with self confidence, there's all sorts of things I can do. In fact, I've been out of Tai Chi for a while because of some health issues that go back to when I had a bowel obstruction and a hernia repair, which some of you may remember that I was in the hospital and did some Facebook Lives from there, even from a hospital bed. Can't even think about that one. Is that I was able to, still move my life forward and still kept on moving, because for me to be able to move forward in my life, I never want to go back. I never want to go back to being a big lady of 494 pounds. In fact, I saw a lady at the grocery store who was big, and her arms used to be probably were about that big. I remember those days, and a lot of people look at her and just with disgust. And boy, I remember those days, and nobody wants to live like that. They're usually trapped, and they're usually trapped because of something that's gone on in their lives, or things going on in their lives now, and the only way they can comfort themselves is with food. As with anybody who's a drug addict, an alcoholic, the same thing, addictions, and they're nothing to play with, and they're usually the result of something, or some people think there's a genetic disposition related to them. But whatever it is, I firmly believe that there's an emotional, physical, and spiritual issue surrounding all that. And to kind of bring that back to make my life move forward, is that with all that, it's brought me so much recovery, that with self-confidence, I have self-confidence like I've never before. I used to think of myself as just a hollow shell, or with just veneers on the outside, and on the inside it was hollow. Well, you know what? I have no veneers. I have nothing between me and the world, just me. I like it that way, because I never have to pretend who I am. I am who I am. And that's a great feeling. And it's a great feeling to come to you as myself and nobody else. Because without coming to you as myself, I don't think I could. Because I like to be honest. And as being a hoarder turned declutterer, I know myself, self esteem issues, self confidence. I always thought about what people thought of me and worried about that. But when I stopped thinking about all those things and realized that with self confidence, I didn't have to think about those things anymore. And as a result, I was able to make my life move forward. And it brought a lot of great rewards, because that self confidence made me realize that I had a lot of wonderful gifts to give to the world and the human race. And that was a wonderful thing. And then the next thing that self confidence gave me, it wanted me to declutter my physical space, to organize it, to put in some sort of order, structure. That even goes into my life. I have structure like I've never before. I have forms, and I did a life plan. I do goal planning every day, and I do a weekly goal planning, which is so important to me. I like to have direction in my life. I know I'm just talking about physical space, but I guess that other thing creeps into all areas of my life. And, I even do meditations around decluttering, because I got to keep this mind upstairs, organized, just like a library, as I like to call it. Because if I don't keep my mind organized, it can get out of order real quickly. And no, I don't like my mind out of order, but at the same time, I like to be creative. And in order to be a good creative person, I have to be organized. And that includes my art room, which I love to do, and do spiritual rocks. And ah, it gives me lots of pleasure to think about that. And so much. And life itself is so much less difficult that I have self confidence now like I've never did before. And I know you like my little friends up there. I like having them there. They're cute. And I like my Ann, my beagle. And she came back from the vet and was sick and such, but she's starting to do much better and she's not coughing anymore and she's getting over her touch bronchitis and I'm glad for that. She means a lot to me, my pets, and a lot of things mean a lot to me in my life. And as this business was born out of my spirituality, and I know there's probably out there folks looking at me going, how can a business be born out of one spirituality? I can't tell you how or why or how it happened. It just did. It happened because my heart was in what I wanted to do and the desire to do it. And believe me, if you've got the heart and the desire to do something, there are so many things you can do in your life if you want to, because that heart and desire give you that self confidence to want to move forward, to have clear thinking, to organize your mind, makes you want to move forward in life, wants to declare your physical space, your mind space, your spiritual space, all of that and more. And you can have a life like you've never had before. And with that, I wish you a great Declutter's Delight for life, and may blessings, peace, tranquility, love, compassion, and kindness and hope fill your life tonight and into the morning and let you have peaceful dreams. Blessings. Good night.